for this motion, as technically August meeting 2020 was scheduled in Panama without the COVID-19 pandemic. With this, IFMSA Executive Board is the proposer of the motion. The motion is seconded by IFMSA Panama, and we go on for the voting directly, as this is procedural motion. The majority required for this motion to be passed is 2/3 majority. Kindly go to Nemo vote and vote.
The voting starts now. So in favor, against, okay, just give me a second.
Please go to ifmsa.nemovote.com and you can vote. You have 3 options: in favor, against, abstain. I need to remind you that this voting is only possible with people with voting rights, according to the last adopted report by the CCC during March meeting 2020. So if you cannot vote, it's probably because you don't have voting rights in the last CCC report. IFMSA Czech Republic, Estonia, Finland, Israel, Jordan, Norway, Pakistan, Peru, Moldova. Please vote. Russia, Rwanda, Senegal, Sweden, Thailand, Togo, and Yemen. These are the missing votes. Please vote.
Sad, the vote for motion 4 is open right now. Can you close it?
Okay. We wait for 1 more minute.
"70 animals voted. We're gonna wait for 1 extra minute, then close the vote."
Estonia, Northern Cyprus, kindly contact vice/chairperson@ifmsa.org or bpprc@ifmsa.org, and they can help you further. Guys, I would like to remind you to mute your mic. I would like to remind everyone to kindly mute their mics.
We have 73 animals who voted. We are gonna close the vote now. The results are 70 animals in favor, 2 against, 1 abstain. We are having the 2/3 majority, so Sania.
Yes, thank you, Saad, for the distribution. The procedural motion passes with 2/3 majority, and I hereby declare the 69th IFMSA General Assembly online August meeting 2020 hereby open. Thank you. With this, we go on for the next motion, that is to elect chairperson and vice chairperson for 69th IFMSA General Assembly online August meeting 2020. The motion has been submitted by the IFMSA Executive Board. Could we have the next motion displayed? The motion to have Dr. Peter from AMSB Bulgaria as the chairperson and Dr. Yazid as the vice chairperson from IFMSA Jordan, elected in the capacity as vice chairperson and vice chairperson respectively for the 69th IFMSA General Assembly online August meeting 2020. I would like to ask, this motion is proposed by IFMSA Executive Board, and moving forward, I would like to ask for a seconder. If you would like to second this motion, kindly raise your hands. IMCC Denmark as the seconder. I would like to ask for amendments. Before we go here, I would like to ask everyone, those who raised their hands for seconding, kindly lower your hands now. With this, we go on for amendment. I would like to ask if anyone has amendments. If you have amendments, kindly raise your hand. I see no raised hands. With this, I would like to ask for any direct negatives. If anyone has any direct negative, I'm going to count till 5. Kindly raise your hands in chats. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There are no raised hands recorded. Thus, there is no direct negative. This motion passes nemo contra. Congratulations, we have Peter and Yazid as chairperson and vice chairperson for the 69th IFMSA General Assembly online August meeting 2020. I would like to give floor to Peter and Yazid from here on.
Okay, thank you very much, Sania. Thank you very much, Animals, for the honor to chair this General Assembly. We will now be proceeding to the next point in the agenda, which is to appoint, we go to the next point, to appoint the plenary secretary and secretary assistants. After the call by the EB, several calls actually, we have our secretary in the face of Mr. Mohammed Mahmoud Eisa, as well as several secretary assistants in the faces of Dr. Axel Shafiq, Mrs. Gina Mariam, Mr. Fabian Santiago Quevedo Madalay. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce that name. Mr. Mahmoud Khaled Mahmoud Eliti, Mr. Tendai Calvin Sangwene, Mr. Sayed Rashid Sayed Sharif. So we have officially appointed these individuals to support us in the chairing of this General Assembly. If at any point any NMOs has any concerns, any questions or comments, you can raise your hand inside of the plenary in Zoom. At that point, I'm going to give you the word to explain. However, we also request that you what your concern is inside of the chat room so that we have a bit more clarity. So I'm going to first ask, does anybody have any concerns, questions, or comments at this moment? If yes, raise your hand. Okay, in that case, we're going to proceed. Agenda point number 4, we're now going to read the motion to elect the proposed returning officers. Motion 2, to elect Ms. Camila Correa from IFMSA Brazil, Mrs. Samantha Geraldina from CIMSA Indonesia, and Ms. Shad Sayed Sharif from Medicine Sudan as the returning officers for the 69th IFMSA Online General Assembly, August meeting 2020. It has been proposed by the IFMSA Executive Board. IFMSA EB, would you like to explain?
No, we would not.
Okay, thank you, IFMSA VPA. I would just like to remind you, everyone, whenever you start talking, first start by announcing who you are or which NMO you represent. This is for the sake of the secretary assistants who are taking minutes at this moment. Thank you, IFMSA EB. Do we have a seconder for this motion? IFMSA Australia. You can unmute yourself to confirm that you would like to second this motion or write that in the chat.
Yep, I would like to confirm.
And sorry, can you confirm your name, the name of the NMO?
This is Jelen representing IFMSA Australia.
Thank you very much. IFMSA Australia seconds this motion. Do we have any amendments? In case you have an amendment, you have to raise your hand. Right now, I see 2 NMOs with raised hands. So I would like to ask IFMSA Australia, would you like to propose an amendment?
No.
So please lower your hand. Slomzik Slovenia, would you like to propose an amendment? Okay, thank you very much. In that case, we move to the next point, which is, do we have any direct negatives to this motion? Motion passes, nemo contra. Okay, I would just like to elaborate the function of the returning officers during this General Assembly. The primary goal of the returning officers is to ensure that NMOs are present in both platforms which are being used to conduct this General Assembly. So in other words, Zoom and NemoVote. So what the returning officers are doing is seeing who is connected to NemoVote and who is connected to Zoom, and making sure that they're connected to both. Additionally, all NMOs who are currently offline are being approached by the returning officers to encourage them to join. And finally, during a voting procedure, the returning officers are going to see who has not voted yet, and they're going to approach them individually to encourage them to vote as quickly as possible. We're going to move on to the next agenda point, election of the Constitution Credential Committee. We have a motion submitted by the IFMSA Executive Board to elect Mr. Late Aladdin Al-Duay Khan from IFMSA Jordan, Mr. Angelo Estefano Moreno Ramos from AEMPPI Ecuador, Mr. Gonzalo Rodrigo Diaz Villa from IFMSA Chile, Mr. Michael Naidenov from MMSA Macedonia, Ms. Hanen Mankur from IFMSA Quebec, as the Constitution Credential Committee of the 69th IFMSA Online General Assembly August meeting 2020. IFMSA Executive Board, would you like to explain?
Sania, BPA. No, we would not like to explain at this point.
Thank you. Do we have a
Explanation has
seconder
been
for this
done through
motion?
email.
Okay. Senegal, FENSS Senegal, you have the floor.
FNES Senegal, we want to second this motion.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we have any amendments for this motion? Senegal, do you have an amendment proposed? If not, please lower your hand.
Mm.
Do you have an amendment proposed?
No.
Okay. Senegal, please lower your hand in case you do not have an amendment. Okay, very good. So do we have any direct negatives for this motion? Okay, motion passes, nemo contra. We're going to move forward to the next point. I would just like to elaborate. The CCC's primary function during a General Assembly is to make sure that the IFMSA Constitution and bylaws are being followed correctly. Additionally, they would be the highest decision-making body when it comes to interpretation of the Constitution and bylaws. So at any point, if I have concern regarding the validity of a proposal or a procedure that has been proposed, I would be asking the CCC to give their interpretation. Now we're going to move to the next point, election of the Financial Committee. We have a motion submitted by the IFMSA Supervising Council to elect Eva Pizzolato from AMEM Mexico, Rajesh Sharma from NMSS Nepal, Nicolas Kioko Minuwoki from Sake, Kenya, Mohammed El Sheikh Mohammed Etia El Zemeti from IFMSA Egypt as members of the Financial Committee for the August meeting 2020. Do we have a second, sorry, IFMSA Supervising Council, please confirm that you have this motion.
Yes, we propose this motion and we have nothing to explain. We don't want to explain anything. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Okay, FIMS Israel, you have the floor.
FIMS Israel, we're seconding this motion.
Thank you. Do we have any proposed amendments? Oh, I'm really sorry. This is where some of you should have proposed a point of order due to the fact that I made a mistake. A procedural motion does not have amendments and does not have a direct negative, at least for now. So we're going to move directly to a vote. I'm going to give the floor to the vice chairperson who is going to explain the procedure. Yazid, you have the floor.
Okay, so for the procedural motion number 2, Financial Committee, proposed by IFMSA Supervising Council, please open your NEMO vote and start now.
I have started the clock to indicate up to 3 minutes. In those 3 minutes, NMOs have the opportunity to vote.
We have 73 votes at the moment. Please open NEMO vote and vote now. Okay, we have 71 NMOs that voted.
Pinto.
And it's only 71 who are online now. If you have got out of your NEMO vote page, please get into your account and vote now. And please silence your microphones. Thank you. Okay, we have only 70 people who are online now, 70 NMOs, and
2 minutes.
we have 71 NMOs. You have 2 more minutes.
No, 1 more minute.
1 more minute, sorry.
Okay, so since we have 71 online NMOs and 71 votes, sorry, 71 online NMOs with voting rights and 71 who have voted already, I suggest that we conclude this vote.
Okay, we have 72 NMOs. There's one who voted now. Okay, I guess time is up, Peter?
Yes.
Okay, so we will close the voting. So 72 NMOs have voted, 69 in favor, 1 against, and 2 abstentions. Motion passes 2/3 majority.
Thank you, everyone. The financial committee has been elected. They're the body that is going to decide on a lot of financial matters during the GA, including the reports, the financial reports of the previous General Assemblies, as well as the previous IFMSA terms in regards to the financial matters. We're now going to move on to the next agenda point, which is the adoption of the plenary agenda. Earlier today, I submitted the final version of the plenary agenda that is now going to be submitted for adoption. The IFMSA Executive Board has submitted a motion to adopt this agenda. It is a procedural motion to adopt the agenda of the 69th IFMSA Online General Assembly meeting. IFMSA Executive Board, would you like to explain?
Yeah, it's already explained through the previous months on NMO servers, so that's it.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder for this motion? Asencol, Colombia, you have the floor. You can either choose to write it in the chat or unmute yourself and confirm that you would like to second this motion. Okay, so I'm going to give the word to Slomzik Slovenia as a seconder of this motion.
We would like to second this motion.
And who are you?
Slomzik Slovenia, sorry.
Thank you very much. Slomzik Slovenia seconds the motion. Since it's a procedural motion, we're now going to vote. I give the floor to the vice chairperson.
Okay, so for the procedural motion number 3, adoption of the agenda, please open your NEMO vote and vote now. The voting has started. And the timer has started with Peter as well for 3 minutes. We have 65 NMOs who voted, still waiting for the rest. We have 72 NMOs who were online. So please open your NEMO vote and vote now. Okay, we have 70 votes. Only 2 more to go. 3 more to go. We have 3 voting NMOs who are online now, 73. Please vote now.
1 left remain, 1 minute remaining.
Okay. Okay, we have 73 NMOs who voted.
Yes, and 72 online. So I suggest.
Okay, I close the vote now. We have 72 NMOs in favor, 0 against, and 1 abstention. The motion passes 2/3 majority.
Thank you very much, NMOs. Okay. We're now going to proceed to the next motion submitted by the IFMSA Executive Board. A new document has been discussed for the past several days. It is regarding the online General Assembly guidelines. They were shortly discussed yesterday as well at the end of the plenary simulation. You can find the document in its final version. It was sent earlier today to the NMO server. Now it was proposed by the IFMSA Executive Board. The IFMSA Executive Board, would you like to explain?
No, we would not like to explain. This is Sania, VPA.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have a seconder for this motion? CFMS Canada. You have the floor.
Yep, CFMS Canada confirming that we'd like to second.
Thank you. Do we have any amendments proposed? Thank you. Do we have any direct negatives? Okay. Motion passes. Demo contra. I will now just take a few minutes to explain what has just happened because it is very important. You have just adopted a document which changes the way that we perform procedures during a General Assembly. One of the most important changes that has just occurred is the way that we deal with procedural motions. Usually, during a procedural motion, we go directly to a vote after finding a seconder. As of now, in case I consider that the procedural motion is not controversial or does not require a vote, I would be asking for a direct negative after finding a seconder. If a direct negative is not found, then the procedural motion would be automatically considered to have passed by 2/3 majority without having to vote. Does anybody have a question regarding this? Raise your hand if you do. Okay, very good. The second point is regarding the timeline. The official time when the General Assembly plenary starts is at 12 GMT 0. All submissions are on, as per the bylaws, are due at 23:59 on that relevant day, again in the same time zone, GMT 0. Okay, I'm just going to skim through everything. Please make sure that only one NMO representative joins the Zoom plenary. Only one person is permitted. Everyone else is expected to join via the streaming services. And in case they would like to contribute to the discussions in the plenary, they're expected to tell their official representatives directly, and the official representative is going to communicate with the General Assembly. Additionally, make sure that you're connected always at both the Zoom plenary as well as the NEMO vote, because only the NEMO vote is the place where we're going to count your presence. In case any NMO at any given point requires a break or thinks that some animals are not paying attention, anyone can request a break. A break can be any time between 5 and 10, 15 minutes. It is up to us to decide. Okay. In case you would like to raise any kind of concern, so regarding, in case you have submitted a procedural motion, a point of order, a point of information, or if you would like to open a speakers list, please raise your hand and write in the chat the action that you would like. It's acceptable to either write the full sentence or the abbreviation of that word. So in other words, you would like to raise a point of order, you either write point of order or PO in the chat and raise your hand. Okay, and the final point is regarding the candidates for officials, for GA hosts, etc. Please make sure that you have prepared a video presentation or alternatively a PPT presentation with voice recording over it, and to submit this document ideally by no later than the 31st of July 2020. All candidatures or the link to a candidature has to be sent to plenary secretary at ifmsa.org. And the final point is regarding the credential form. The CCC has decided that the credential form can be downloaded by every single NMO. The link can be found in the guidelines. After you have completed the credential form, you have to sign it and stamp it. And then you have to send it through an online Google form, the link of which is also included in the guidelines. You have to send that no later than 2 hours before the start of the second plenary, which is going to be on the 1st of August. This is the gist of the document. Does anybody have questions or concerns regarding the guidelines? Okay, thank you. In that case, we're going to move on to the next point in the agenda. Now I'm going to give the word to the IFMSA Executive Board so they can present other organizations, observers, and guests who are going to be present during the General Assembly. IFMSA Executive Board, you have the floor.
IFMSA VPE. Hi everyone, my name is Tarek and I'm the Vice President for External Affairs. I will be presenting other organizations, observers, and guests.
Yes.
Can we move to the slides? Okay, I will be reading from the list. We have Othniel Babzi from the International Pharmaceutical Students Federation, Aya Jamal from the International Pharmaceutical Students Federation, Ali Diab from the International Association of Dental Students, Emily Freeman from the International Veterinary Students Association, and Jilan Go and Makina Haq from International Surgical Students Network Incision. As for the observers, we have Qassam Kabangu from Zamsa, Zambia, Christine Shitwendi from Zamsa, Zambia, Hassan Ali Dawid from Zamsa, Somaliland, Mariam Al-Rashid from IFMSA BH Bahrain, Samih Barakat from IFMSA BH Bahrain, Isabel Nelson Lawrence from IFMSA BH Bahrain, Tariq Tabbah from IFMSA BH Bahrain, Nagwa Nakwaku from UBMCA Botswana, Nyontle Sakaiwi from UBMSA Botswana, Buraima Kasira Folachade Alayi from IMB Benin, Adunsi Andes Francois from IMB Benin, Tovi Wanu from IMB Benin, Fasino Fascali Ines Suru Yabo from IMB Benin, Gokan Godorin Merveille M IMB Benin, Mr. Giantine Agoso IMB Benin, Claudelia Mombi IMB Benin, Alexander Sami Maguna from LMSA Liberia, Martha Rachel Pattern from LMSA Liberia, Saiwa C. Luo from LMSA Liberia, Elvis G. Davis from LMSA Liberia, John D. Sarbo Jr., LMSA Liberia, and G. Priestley P. Witchy Jr. from LMSA Liberia. Excuse me if I butchered any other names, and welcome to our General Assembly. We are really happy to have you among us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, IFMSA VP. I would like to remind everyone, whenever you have a presentation, a statement, or anything else that you're presenting in front of the plenary during the General Assembly, please make sure that you send it to both plenary secretary at ifmsa.org, as well as secretary team at ifmsa.org. It's going to be shown on the final slide as well. We move on to the next agenda point. Introduction of the IFMSA officials. I will give the word to the IFMSA Executive Board. You have the floor.
Hello, thank you, Peter.
Floor on to President.
Dear IFMSA family, yesterday I saw a video of the incredible times we spent in Rwanda. It felt like I was just on the stage, thanking you all for these unforgettable moments and hoping to see you all again in Panama to create even more memories. A General Assembly represents an extraordinary week when the whole of IFMSA has the opportunity to not only meet, but to also learn more about the people behind the unread emails, to gain insight into the vast diversity that makes an international organization, and to finally share the energy, enthusiasm, and excitement and passion for what we do. I was truly sad when I learned that the last glimmer of hope remaining for next General Assembly meeting to be held in Panama was lost, as we are facing the new reality of this pandemic. I would like to once again thank the organizing committee from IFMSA Panama for all the tremendous effort that they have done to provide us with an amazing experience and everything that makes General Assembly meetings such a special place to be in. I remember the times I spent in the past GAs, the bonds forged with great delegations of my NMO, the small interactions with other participants made possible by the vibrant complexes we were in, the amazement of the formal opening ceremony, the uniqueness everyone brought with them and showcased with pride, and the warm embrace of the hundreds of participants walking in the same halls. How can any one of us forget those small moments when we see a dear friend across the room after such a long time? It lasts for a second, but makes such a difference and means the world to each one of us. I remember the sessions that I attended and the passion in people's eyes as we discussed the diversity of global health issues, learned new skills, gained exceptional experiences, and made critical decisions for our federation. There were times when I needed a dear pat on the back as I was preparing for the next thing, a session, a candidature presentation, the elections, and someone was there to notice, to give me encouragement to be the best I can be. We bring home so much after the meeting, and most importantly, the feelings from all those memories that are indescribable in every way. We all knew, as the announcement of the cancellation went out, that the GA of this kind was something we will not have during this month. We will have something else. The bonds and interactions we have would be made differently. Every generation has their own challenges, and every once in a while, one of them makes a drastic change and walks off the beaten path. This is what everything we do in IFMSA prepares us for, and we only realize it when faced with a new challenge in front of us, something never done before. Sadly, for us, it involves adapting to global health emergency. We saw the remarkable actions of our members from all corners of the world as they showed their proficient ability to tackle this health crisis, help the communities, and inspire all of us. Now is the time for us to join forces and do what was never done before. Now is the time to bring the IFMSA General Assembly meeting to all of our homes at the same time, to show what we learned and face the reality of the situation we are in. This will not be just another General Assembly meeting. It will not be done in the way you look forward to when you think of your year in IFMSA. It will be unique, special, with its own set of challenges and opportunities. It will require efforts from all of us to overcome the difficulties we are faced with. In the past months, the team of officials, the international teams, program coordinators, plenary team members, sessions team members, support persons have all made tremendous efforts to bring what makes an in-person meeting special to this new virtual format that we will be using. Some of it will come and feel naturally. Some of it will require extra efforts from all of us. I ask for your patience and support as we go through this together. I ask you to remember all the things you're missing and help us in making them. Interactions will be more difficult. They will require proactivity and extra efforts to be there. But remember how much they meant for you in the past meetings. Remember the opportunities that come out of them. You will not be walking up to a person in this General Assembly meeting. You will be entering channels, sending text messages, speaking over a microphone, maybe sharing your video, and navigating the new platforms we have. Success of a General Assembly meeting relies on all of us. This is especially true for this entire new format, the first of its kind, the online General Assembly meeting. I know that you want to. Looking at the participants list, I see over 1,100 people from around 130 of our NMOs, eagerly waiting to see what we have prepared, to be engaged and take part in this unique experience. This is going to be one of the most inclusive meetings IFMSA ever organizes, as the barriers for representations we usually face are mostly diminished. I'm Nebojša Nikolić from IFMSA Serbia, president of IFMSA, and I will now introduce you to the other members of team officials. First up, you heard her before, Vice President for Activities, Sania Samir Sarzabude from MSI India. Sad, can you put spotlights on the videos somehow? That would be nice. Okay, I'll move on. Vice President for Finances, Gabriela de Jesus Cipriano Flores from IFMSA Peru. And Vice President for Members, Paulina Birula from IFMSA Poland. And one of the saddest things is that they're not clapping right now. Vice President for Capacity Building, Haider Nouri from IFMSA Iraq. Vice President for External Affairs, Tarek Kazim from Associame Tunisia. Vice President for Public Relations and Communication, Saad Shaibi from IFMSA Morocco. Regional Director for Americas, Maria Jose Fermiro Cartwright from IMP Ecuador. Regional Director for the Eastern Mediterranean region, Amr Hamani from IFMSA Morocco. Regional Director for Europe, Gita Mihocic from Stomsik, Slovenia. Regional Director for Asia Pacific, Po Chin Lee from FMSA Taiwan. Regional Director for Africa, Alistair Shingirai Mukondiva from ZIMSA, Zimbabwe. Director of the Standing Committee on Medical Education, Marwan Amzil from IFMSA Morocco. Director of the Standing Committee on Professional Exchange, Gabriela Diaz Silva Dutra Macedo from IFMSA Brazil. Director of the Standing Committee on Public Health, Sarah Meito from Msaki, Kenya. Director of the Standing Committee on Sexual and Reproductive Health and Rights, including HIV and AIDS, Laura Laulcat Garcia Valdez from AX Catalonia. Director of the Standing Committee on Research Exchange, Matthew Pierre from BEMSA Belgium. Director of the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Peace, Mahmoud Abdulamir from IFMSA Egypt. Liaison Officer to Student Organizations, Saad Wakas from IFMSA Morocco. Liaison Officer for Medical Education Issues, Ala Dafala from Medicine Sudan. Liaison Officer for Public Health Issues, Omnia Lomrani from IFMSA Egypt.
Slow down just a little bit. I'm just trying to follow up.
Okay. Liaison Officer for Human Rights and Peace Issues, Tami Yu from IFMSA Taiwan. Liaison Officer for Sexual and Reproductive Health and Rights Issues, including HIV and AIDS, Egle Janušonytė from LIMSA, Lithuania. Liaison Officer to the World Health Organization, Katja Čič from Slavonsk, Slovenia. And RD members from Supervising Council members, Hanna Lucev from Kramsik, Croatia. Sami David from IFMSA NL. Jan Schenk from BBMD Germany. Satyanur Shaban from Chimsa, Indonesia. Okay, that felt entirely differently already from the experience of being there on the stage in front of 1,000 people, introducing all the officials, which is already a start of what we're going to be facing. Thank you all for joining us in this historic moment for IFMSA and taking part in the first ever online General Assembly meeting. I'm looking forward to everything we will be doing together in the coming month, and I hope that when it is all over, we will look at this month-long experience with similar longing and excitement and nostalgia as we do for other General Assembly meetings. Thank you.
Thank you very much, IFMSA President. We're now going to move on to the next point in the agenda, presentation by the EB on the progress of the execution of the strategic plan. IFMSA EB, you have the floor.
Thank you, Sanya VPA. If you can hear me, as usual, this part would be explained in the NMO President's session, presented and explained both.
Okay, thank you very much. Then moving forward to point number 12, presentation of the report of the IFMSA President on the status of the IFMSA Board of Recommendations. IFMSA President, you have the floor.
Thank you. This will also be presented, IFMSA President, this will also be presented during the President sessions.
Okay, very good. So this is the last point in the agenda for today. Therefore, I'm just going to send you several reminders, after which I'm going to open a speakers list in case anybody would like to speak. So first of all, make sure that you follow the guidelines that you just adopted. You can find them in the Google Drive in the link that I sent earlier today. Make sure that you complete your credential form and send it to the CCC using, again, the guidelines written that you adopted just now. Attend as many of the sessions as you can, not just the plenary sessions, not just the president sessions, but also the standing committee and regional sessions. And finally, take an active part in the first ever online General Assembly. This is a new event that we haven't tried before, so the more active you are, the better it would be. That is everything from me. Now I would like to open a speakers list. Anybody, any GA participant who would like to speak, please raise your hand. Okay, AEM Guinea. Any other animal? Okay, and I will then give the floor to the CCC. AEM Guinea, you have the floor. Representative from AEM Guinea, would you like to speak? If not, please lower your hand. Okay, thank you very much. So IFMSA CCC, you have the floor.
Hello there, Michelle, CCC, on behalf of the CCC. We're gonna send later today or whenever we can, as soon as possible. The email is ready. We're gonna send an email to the animal server with the instructions how to gain, regain, or maintain your voting rights. So you'll have the instructions to do so. And the bylaws where you can find the informations to update, for example, the ifmsa.org or not having debts, etc. So you will have also in the email the CF, the credential form, to be filled up, and then you can upload it in the form that is already in the guideline or in the email. It's up to you. So we encourage you to do so before 2 hours before the second plenary on the 1st of August in order to have your voting rights. Thank you.
Peter, unmute yourself.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, IFMSA CCC. I will just give a final opportunity for anybody else who would like to speak using a final speakers list. If anybody would like to speak, please raise your hand. Very good. With that, I would like to thank you for joining us during the first plenary of this online General Assembly. I would meet you again in about 2 weeks on 1st of August at 12 p.m. GMT, again in this online General Assembly. Thank you for attending. Have a nice and productive General Assembly in the next 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Thank you all for joining. See you soon in president sessions and other plenaries. If you have any doubts at any point, feel free to email eb@ifmsa.org or WhatsApp any one of us. Thank you.
Thank you.